Tonight, you will tap your banking app before bed. Maybe your paycheck landed this morning, maybe it already feels smaller. Rent is waiting. The car payment is waiting. Insurance, phone bill, internet, 3 subscriptions you barely use. A food delivery charge you told yourself was just this once. The heater hums, the streetlight glows, your card is saved everywhere. And that is the strange part. You think you are spending money when you choose to buy something, but most of your money is being taken before you feel like you made a choice at all. 1,000 tiny gates, auto pay, minimum payments, convenience fees, higher rent, higher groceries, higher interest, quiet as ash, hot as fire. Be honest, have you ever woken up at 3 a.m. and checked your balance in the dark? Not because you are lazy, not because you are bad with money, because modern life has turned your paycheck into a campfire, and every bill is standing around it with its hands out. The numbers are not soft, either. In recent Federal Reserve surveys, a large share of adults said they could not comfortably cover a $400 emergency with cash on hand. That means one broken tire, one medical bill, one missed shift, and the floor opens. But the weapon is not just poverty, the weapon is timing. You get paid every 2 weeks. Your landlord wants money every month. Your credit card compounds every day. Your subscriptions renew while you sleep. Your wages arrive in chunks, but your expenses hunt in a pack. That is why a person can work 40 hours, bring home a real paycheck, and still feel like nothing belongs to them. So before we talk about investing, side hustles, or getting rich, we have to look at the first battlefield. The ordinary bill, the ordinary swipe. The ordinary night when you realize your money left before you did. You open your banking app in the dark, a small circle of light in your hand, maybe 6 inches wide. Inside that circle, things look safe. Your paycheck landed. Your rent is scheduled. The coffee, the delivery fee, the subscription charge, the credit card, minimum, all visible, all normal, but outside that little glow, the real animals move. Interest, late fees, inflation, the price you do not feel today. Because it bites later, that is the strange part. Most people think they lose money on big decisions. A car, a house, a bad investment, but that is not always the weapon. Often, it is the quiet bill that comes every month and learns your habits better than you do. Researchers have seen this pattern again and again. When people look at money in the moment, they talk about survival. Where is the cash? What gets paid first? Can I make it to Friday? It is practical. It is water. It is hunting. It is heat. But the system around you is not built for Friday. It is built for distance. Credit card companies do not need you to collapse today. They need you to carry a balance. Just a little. For months, for years. A $40 dinner becomes a debt that grows legs. A $12 subscription hides under ash. A buy now, pay later button turns comfort into a chain. And because each piece is small, your brain lets it pass. That is the mechanism. Modern money does not attack. Like a predator in the open, it waits beyond the firelight. It lets you feel safe. While your future paycheck is already being divided, you open your banking app at 3 a.m. The room is dark. Your face is blue from the screen. Rent is coming. The card balance is sitting there, like a stone, on your chest. The paycheck already has footprints on it before it even arrives. That is the strange part. Most people think the danger is the big purchase, the vacation, the car, the one stupid weekend. But that is not the weapon. The weapon is the small bill that learned how to return. Subscriptions, delivery fees, interest, insurance, minimum payments, little fires around your account, burning quietly while you sleep. In the daytime, money talk sounds practical. Work, budget, pay this, delay that. Smile on the call, tap the card, keep moving. But at night, when the house goes quiet, the real story starts. You do not think about dollars. You think about distance. How far until payday? How far until the rent clears? How far until one bad email turns into one late fee, then another, then another? This is where modern money gets primal. Our ancestors sat near fire and told stories about wolves outside the light. Today, the wolf has a logo. It sends reminders. It compounds monthly. It waits behind a clean app design and a friendly pay later button. And the numbers are not small. A Federal Reserve report has shown that a large share of adults would struggle to cover a sudden $400 expense without borrowing or selling something. Credit card debt in the United States has climbed past $1 trillion. Not because everyone bought mansions, because millions of people got slowly surrounded. A coffee here, a ride there, a free trial that stopped being free, a minimum payment that feels like progress, but mostly feeds the machine. That is the hidden lesson. Your paycheck is not just income. It is territory, and every recurring charge is a flag planted in it before you touch the money yourself. So when you wake up at 3 a.m. and feel that heat in your lungs. Do not treat it like random panic. Sometimes your body is doing the math before your mouth can say it. The first move is not to earn more, not yet. The first move is to turn on the light and name every wolf standing at the edge of your account. You open your banking app after dinner. The screen glows in your hand. Rent, groceries, subscriptions, a card payment you barely remember. The paycheck looked alive on Friday. By Tuesday, it is already ash. That is the strange part. Most people think they are bad with money because they spend too much. But often, that is not the weapon. The weapon is timing. Your income arrives in one clean block. Your life attacks it in pieces. A bill on the 1st, insurance on the 6th, food every few days, gas, coffee, a birthday dinner, one quiet auto renewal at midnight, then another, then another. Nothing feels violent. Each cut is small, but by the middle of the month, your money has already been divided without your permission. Banks and payroll studies keep showing the same pattern. People spend more right after payday, even when their income is predictable. Not because they are stupid, because the body sees money land and relaxes. The lungs open. The danger feels far away. Then, the second half of the month arrives, and suddenly you are living differently. Cheaper meals, delayed purchases, checking the balance before tapping the card. Waiting, counting, hoping nothing breaks. Nobody taught your account to move like this. The system did it on its own. For years, families have lived inside the split. First money and second money. First money feels like freedom. Second money feels like survival. So the question is not just how much you earn. The question is what happens in that quiet space between the paycheck arriving and the bills closing in. You wake up at 3 a.m. and reach for your phone. That tiny blue glow feels harmless. But that is the strange part. The night used to cost almost nothing. A fire, a candle, a little wood. People woke in the dark, spoke quietly, prayed, held someone close, remembered a dream before it vanished. The world was still, no checkout button, no delivery app, no flashing balance, no market open in another time zone, whispering through glass. Then, light became a business. First better candles, then oil lamps, then gas lamps in the streets. Then Edison's bulb made artificial light cheap enough to enter ordinary rooms. And within 1 or 2 generations, the old night was not just gone, it was monetized. Factories could run longer, shops could stay open later, streets could sell after sunset, homes could turn night into work, into errands, into entertainment, into one more hour of spending. The dark ceiling became a lit screen. The quiet hour became a payment funnel. Your grandfather's night ended with ash and silence. Your night ends with subscriptions, cart reminders, late fees, food delivery, buy now, pay later offers, and a paycheck that still has to stretch until Friday. That is the reversal. We think modern lighting gave us more time, but for most people, it gave employers, landlords, lenders, and platforms more access to our attention, more hours to sell to us, more hours to extract from us, more hours where tired people make expensive decisions with hot eyes, dry lungs, and a nervous thumb. And the numbers line up with the feeling. Research on consumer behavior has shown that fatigue lowers self-control and increases impulsive buying. Retailers know this, apps know this, credit products know this. The late-night shopper is not a mystery. He is a customer with weaker defenses. So when you wake in the middle of the night and spend money, it is not just bad discipline. It is an old body standing in a new marketplace. Your wiring expects darkness, distance, a fire, a pause. But your room is filled with offers. The bill is glowing in your hand. The trap is not the waking. The trap is what learned to wait for you there. You wake up at 3 a.m., not to hunt, not to watch the fire, to check your bank app. The rent cleared. The card balance is still there. A subscription hit while you were asleep. The phone glows in your hand, like a small private moon. We call it stress now. We call it bad sleep. We call it being terrible with money. But that is the strange part. Maybe you are not broken. Maybe an old part of you is doing exactly what it was built to do. Wake up in the dark and scan for danger. Only the danger changed for most of human history. The threat had teeth, heat, distance, hunger. Now it has due dates, interest, late fees, auto renewals, a paycheck that lands on Friday and is already half gone by Saturday morning. And there is one more thing we lost. The sky. For 300,000 years, when humans looked up at night, they saw a black ceiling crowded with stars. The Milky Way ran across it, like ash poured over stone. It told them where they were, what season was coming, which way home was. Today, more than 80% of people on Earth live under skies so flooded with artificial light that they cannot see the Milky Way at all. Think about that. We did not just lose the stars. We bought the darkness back from the electric company. Porch lights, street lights, store signs, screens in every room. A city that never sleeps because money moves better when nobody fully rests. Our ancestors told stories under the stars. We scroll under LEDs. They tracked seasons. We track payments. They looked up to understand their place in the universe. You look down to see if your balance can survive the week. That is the reversal. The modern night feels comfortable. Warm bed, locked door, blue light, blanket over your feet. But under that comfort is a system designed to keep your attention awake and your wallet open. So tonight, when the lamp goes off and the room goes black, remember this. For most of history, the night was never empty. It was full of fire, full of stories, full of warnings. And now, for many people, it is full of bills. You tap your card for coffee. You let the paycheck land. You watch rent, subscriptions, delivery fees, interest, and small, nothing charges walk across the screen like feet in ash. That is the strange part. Most people think money disappears because they are careless. But that was not the weapon. The weapon is speed. No pause, no pain, no stone in the hand. Studies on cashless spending keep showing the same thing. When payment feels lighter, people spend more. The body does not feel the loss until the bill arrives. So do not wait for a bigger salary to save you. Open the last 30 days. Find the quiet leaks, the apps, the fees, the late-night orders, the little comforts, burning heat from your future. Then move money first, before the world touches it. Your bank account is not just numbers. It is distance, time, breath, freedom. And if you do not decide where it goes, something else already has.